So this is a little bit weird because I have been shooting on my iPhone for the past few videos, and what I found is when I went back and watched a lot of my old videos, like I started getting excited. I started getting excited to create again because it suddenly dawned on me like, oh wait, now that I have lowered the bar for myself and allowed myself to be imperfect and allowed myself to show up in a way that's authentic to me, now I can just think about creating. Now I can just think about creativity. Now I can improve the quality of my videos and break out the DSLR if I want to, because like there are no rules per se. And I just started to get excited again and like want to make cool stuff, because all of the other stuff that didn't really matter and me worrying about like one, looking good on camera, and like obviously like I have makeup on, but that's because I'm going somewhere. But just because like I was showing up on my iPhone and not having makeup on, like my hair wasn't done, and I was able to post that and just like rip off the band-aid. It's like, okay, like now you can like break out your DSLR and it doesn't have to be like a whole production. Like you can show up the way like you need to, like the way you feel comfortable. Does that make sense? Like, so I'm actually really excited. So today I'm doing meal prep. And another thing that's happening now that I've like actually also talked about my health on my channel, now it's like I feel like I can actually share parts of like my real life, because a lot of my life does revolve around my health. I'm very restrictive, or I have been very restrictive with my diet, to the point of being afraid of food. And I think there's like a condition for that. I don't think I have that. It's not that extreme, but like I definitely, how should I put it? Like, because food can affect my body so like significantly, like sometimes I'll eat something and like I feel like my body's just like shutting down. Like all the light switches are turning off or whatever. Because of that, I've been like so careful with what I eat. It's like, okay, well, I can't have gluten. I can't eat meat. I can't, well, I definitely actually can't have dairy. Like I do know for sure that that's something I have a very negative reaction to. So, and I've been without it for so long, I don't really miss it that much. But there's like so many restrictions that I've put on my diet. Like I really try not to eat a lot of sugar, and it's really been a huge lifestyle shift. And I will say, like, what I am thankful about is there are certain things that I've really made a part of my lifestyle so that I don't really miss it. But it's like, I think because of that, it's like, okay, I can slowly start incorporating other things back into my diet. For one, just convenience and being able to like have a little more freedom with my food, because I know I'm not going to go to an extreme and go overboard and eat too much of it. Now that I know I can go without it, I decided to just be a little more adventurous in what I'm gonna eat this week. I'm gonna try to do a Cajun fettuccine Alfredo, dairy-free. I'm also gonna do, I think, like a ramen. It's a lot of pasta. I'll be honest, it's a lot of pasta. Some of it will be gluten-free, some of it won't. I think I'm just gonna add some roasted broccoli, like just as something I eat as a side to a lot of the things, because I find that it's also about balance. Like if you balance your meals that are like very basically acidic, like if I have like meals that are heavily acidic because of like the pasta and the tomato sauce and the meat or whatever, I can balance that with something like broccoli that's very alkaline, or spinach. That's another great thing you can just add to food. Something that I found is sneaking in the good stuff in sauces. So say for instance you want to make it like a cream pasta. Well, puree some spinach and add it to the sauce, and now you have like a creamy green pasta sauce. And it's like the alkaline is balancing out the acidity. Yeah, I don't know. These are just things I have to think about a lot. I just want to like be more free with my food. And look, if I get a little bloated, if I have a little bit of a stomach ache, so be it. Sometimes I think it's like if you go so long and you're so restrictive with your diet, your body doesn't know how to process like anything. So you start just getting kind of irritated by everything. Like when I think of when I was like a kid, I ate so much stuff that I don't eat now, and I don't remember ever feeling bad afterwards, you know? So it's complicated. It's complicated. Yeah, I'm adding stuff back in, I'm figuring it out. And I'm gonna try to do like a little Emily Mariko style vlog situation. But you know what? If it doesn't turn out like that, that's okay too. That's totally okay. And I'm just gonna roll with it. But yeah, come along with me. So normally I don't really film when I'm driving somewhere, when I'm going somewhere. Like it's really difficult to vlog because I like to listen to music when I'm driving, and I listen to it through my phone. So like I can't, yeah, or even if it's a podcast, I can't vlog and drive. So I'm headed to Whole Foods and I'm gonna pick up what I need. And yeah, I don't know. I felt like there should be some sort of transition from the house to Whole Foods, and it shouldn't be like this abrupt switch. But yeah, I will see you guys there. All right, so I just got back home. The first thing I did was just like change into something comfortable. I don't know what it is about like walking around for a really long time in the store. It just wears me out. So I just literally put on some lounge clothes so I can pick up my groceries and feel somewhat comfortable. But yeah, I thought I was gonna do a little haul, but that may have to wait because my sister works from home and she like works in our dining room, which is right next to the kitchen. Yeah, I don't want to make too much noise. All right. I don't remember no, but I remember the last time I've had like
just a week.
Like yeah. I'm having to talk pretty quiet because my sister is on a work call, but these are my groceries, and let me explain a little bit what I'm making. So here are these ingredients. I have some sticky rice, some seaweed, some salmon, vegan mayo, sesame seeds. I'm making onigiri. I'm really excited about that. It's on my vision board, and I haven't had onigiri since I was in Japan, so I'm really excited to make that. Here we have ingredients for some miso soup. It's both ingredients actually for miso soup and ramen. It's doubling a bit. I don't have any ramen noodles. I have to get those from another store, but I'm gonna put some chili paste in the ramen. The miso is for the miso soup. The tofu is for the miso soup. The coconut milk is for the ramen. The broth is for the ramen. The wakame and the kombu is for the miso. Moving on, we have some shrimp and some Alfredo, vegan Alfredo sauce, Cajun seasoning, some white wine vinegar, garlic, vegan butter, and some gluten-free noodles. I just picked one that looked pretty. All the linguine was out. So this is gonna make like a shrimp Alfredo pasta. Then here we have breakfast items. So I'm gonna make some breakfast bars. So I have some almonds, cashews, chocolate. I don't think you can really see, but some chocolate here. And almond butter. And I'm also gonna use honey as well. This is just a yogurt drink. It's really good, forager, dairy-free. Also, I have some cashew milk yogurt that I'll use to make like a little parfait with these apples and some of the crumble from the breakfast bars I'm making. Also did bagels, hummus for the bagels. I already have some majol dates and salsa verde that I'm going to put in the food processor and make like a sweet salsa spread that can go on the bagels with the hummus. Or I could also do like almond butter on the bagels for something more sweet, just depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, that is everything. This should actually last me at least 2 weeks. That's the goal, but yeah. All right. I've never done a haul like this before, but this was fun. Hi, so not sure how I'm editing this together, but if you saw that absolute fail, me trying to make onigiri. By the way, I'm eating like a mug cake, just add water and microwave, chocolate chip cookie. But yeah, sometimes like things like that can feel so big to me. Like even though this morning I woke up, I researched all these recipes. Like, I made this grocery list. I was able to get pretty much everything on my grocery list when I did not feel like it at all, because even when I was about to leave, like, I was in so much pain physically. I struggle with chronic inflammation. So like, just walking around a grocery store for like 45 minutes to an hour is actually a lot for my body, which is sad to say. It'd probably be better if I actually like worked out more and like built up my endurance, but because I don't really work out and I do have so much inflammation, like it can be really painful. And so like when I get home, it's just like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all. And so then anything after that is just even more difficult. So getting all my groceries, carrying them upstairs, cleaning them, sanitizing everything, putting it all away, and then like trying to cook after, or in this case, just like make something. I really thought I was gonna make these cute, neat little onigiri. And yeah, I thought it was gonna be like really cute and neat. And it was just a total, complete fail. And I wanna be the kind of person who can just like laugh at it, get up, just like it happened and then I move on with my day. But it's the type of thing like I could literally just sit in a corner and cry about, because it just, and when I'm saying it out loud, it kind of sounds dumb, but I don't know, if you're someone who like struggles with chronic pain or you struggle with your health, it just feels like those small L's, like they can feel so big because they happen a lot and they happen regularly and they build up and they make you feel incapable. And you wonder why these small things that other people seem to just do so effortlessly are so hard for you. It wasn't so much that like I wasn't able to make the onigiri, like that had nothing to do with like my pain or anything like that. It was that it going well meant so much to me because my day was filled with so much pain. Physically, I needed there to be a payoff. I needed there to be something that made me feel like what I went through today was really, truly worth it. Something as simple as just going to the grocery store and like getting, shopping, grocery shopping has to have a payoff for me, like a strong one, because the balances are so uneven. I was just like listening to an NPR podcast. I can't remember which one, but it was talking about like dopamine. I feel like I should have added more water to this. It was talking about dopamine and social media addiction and things like that, and how most of us are suffering from some level of addiction in modern society just because like we have such easy access to things that trigger dopamine or that trigger like a dopamine response. So like for instance, like a long time ago, most humans, like their day was just filled with them trying to find food, and the search for food was not easy and it involved a lot of work. And so then they would get this payoff when they did find food, and so they would get that like little dopamine rush. Basically, the reason why that dopamine rush was so important is because it gave them the motivation to continue searching for food, even though it was something they had to do so often. That might happen like once a day, once every couple days or whatever. Whereas like we literally use social media and apps that are designed to trigger a dopamine rush every time we refresh, every time we see that someone liked a photo of ours, every time like it's constantly happening in some way. And that's just one thing. You also get a dopamine rush when, a new series is on Netflix and you're binging it, and every time you watch like another episode, it's like, whew, another one, let's do that again, Like, and I could go on and on. Like, there's so many things. It's not even just like technological things. It's just the way like our world is designed now. We get all these dopamine rushes. The thing is, like, what our mind is designed to do is like when we get a dopamine rush, we can't just stay there, because then like we'll get complacent and we'll just like, we'll not have to do anything to get that rush again, right? So like our brain is designed so that we keep foraging or hunting for food so we don't die. Our brain is designed to like try to find homeostasis, to try to balance that out, to not let you stay too happy for too long. Also, like, I'm not a professional. I literally just listen to one podcast. So like also what do I know? It's designed to like try to rebalance and find like an equilibrium. You feel a little bad after, and then you want to find that again, and you do eventually, and then like, so it's like this teeter-totter. But if it's happening too much, it like almost overwhelms your brain, and then it almost has to like go so far in the other direction to try to find balance again. This can cause depression. And then because of that, you basically become addicted to these things that cause these like massive surges of like dopamine. You feel like you can't function without it, because the moment you stop, you're going to tip all the way to the other side. But the thing is, like, if you go long enough without that thing, you'll actually recalibrate again. There are hard drugs and things like that that actually like really mess with your brain chemistry where you might not. I don't know what I'm talking about, but like the way that works can be like damaged, sometimes unfortunately permanently. But with things like social media and stuff like that, like types of addictions we kind of all have, we can actually come back from those if we make the effort, as hard as it can be. And it will feel like withdrawal, like it will be very hard and you will feel awful initially. But yeah, I say all that to say, I'd be really curious to know how living with chronic pain affects that process. It also works in the reverse, right? So just like how your brain is constantly trying to find like homeostasis when you get too much of like a dopamine rush and it feels like it needs to tip scales in the other direction. If you're, say, working out and you're in pain, it does the reverse of that, where you feel really good after a workout because it's like you were in pain. So it's like you get these endorphins to make you feel better. So you can find that balance again. I don't know, like I feel like as someone who deals with chronic pain, there is like a level of it that starts to feel normal and starts to feel like, oh, this is just how my body feels. Whereas like if I felt completely normal and then suddenly someone turned on a switch and I felt the way I do now, it would probably feel way more painful. Like probably like take any one of my family members who doesn't struggle with chronic pain and you gave them how I feel on a daily basis, like they'd probably like be like, oh my God, this hurts a lot. But for me, it's like, this is just how my body feels. Like I've gotten used to it, as bad as it may feel. But sometimes when I'm reminded through doing certain tasks or like, it feels very frustrating. And I'd be very curious to know like how that affects the brain, especially when you're also dealing with potentially like addiction to like TV, addiction to Netflix, addiction to your phone or whatever, addiction to food. You're constantly trying to balance that scale and it never quite gets there because no matter what, like you're still in pain. I was not intending to talk about this at all, but not gonna lie, this isn't that good. It has a weird aftertaste, kind of like medicine-y. Maybe I didn't add enough water.